All right, back to basics. How to test for your particular repression type. If you haven't heard me talk about this yet, there's typically two types of emotion repressors based on how our nervous systems get wired up in childhood. The first type, of which I happen to be, are those who repress their big emotions and energies like anger, rage, power, sexuality. Anger repressors are those who, in their triggers or suffering, tend to get small or shrink, right? They're your classic people pleasers or sacrificers or martyrs, because think about it. If you're pushing down your power or your powerful emotions, you're basically giving it away to and going along with other people. The second type are those who repress their vulnerable emotions like hurt, sadness, grief, or fear. Hurt and vulnerability repressors typically overcompensate and get big in order to stay safe from what's buried in their bodies, right? They're your classic go-getters, competitors, or even bullies sometimes. And it makes sense because if you're pushing down or rejecting your vulnerability, you're going to be relegated to pretending that you are tough or dominant all the time. So given that context, you might now have some idea of what you primarily repress or what repressor type you might be. But there's one place that will know better than your head, and that's your body. As they say, the body keeps the score. So we want to always check with it and test to see what it says. If you suspect you're an anger repressor, here's how to check or test your body to verify. Using what we call a reverse inquiry in KI, you're going to ask of yourself this question and feel into the body to see if there's any kind of reaction like a tightness or a contraction. Looking in your mind's eye to the person you have the most issues or triggers with, say this: I can do exactly what I want. Especially when it comes to that particular person. I can do what I want. I don't have to go along with them. I can be myself in front of them. If you get a hit or what we call a no in the body on that, that disagreement indicates that you may be an anger repressor. Now, if you suspect you're a hurt or vulnerability repressor, look to the people that you're closest to or have the most issues with, and here is your reverse inquiry. It's okay to lose them. I don't need them to stay with me. If you got a strong hit or disagreement in your body on that, it may be part of what confirms that you are a hurt and vulnerability repressor who are terrified of abandonment because they're terrified of their buried grief and sadness. To boil it down even more, hurt repressors are afraid of losing their power and having to acknowledge, access, feel, and express what's buried in their bodies. And anger repressors are afraid of coming into their power and having to acknowledge, access, feel, and express what's buried in theirs. So there's more to the process of what we call somatic testing in order to determine your repressor type. But those two inquiries that I gave you, anger repressors, I can do what I want; hurt repressors, I'm not afraid to lose them, are a great start. Learn more with me at link in bio.